I'll share with you a point of view that I have regarding fatherhood, and you and I might be in the same boat. So I want to get your take on it. And I think your kids are a little bit older than mine, but not too far off. So I've got three girls, and we know that in this space that we have a problem with like marriage and whatnot in the community where women aren't being necessarily developed to be good wives, so to speak. And then I've heard people say, well, it starts with the dad and how they raise their girls and stuff. Because right now the narrative, especially in America, isn't really, it'll be like, oh, you a queen, girl power. Look at our new state representative. She's the youngest woman, Muslim, etc. None of that has any bearing on motherhood or wifehood. With my daughters, they have interests, and I push them to pursue those interests. Like my oldest one is in jiu-jitsu. I think you'd mentioned your girls train as well, and they're into ceramics or learning coding. They're reading books. They are interested because they're still human beings, and this is like still pre-pubescent, so they're reading all kinds of stuff. But in my back of my head, it's also like, they have to be wives someday. And what am I doing about it? I don't have an answer to that. Here's the other issue. So my wife, as some people may know, is a physician, and being an only child, she went into that field because you never know if you're going to find someone that's you're going to get married to. So it's almost like an insurance policy. Now, some people will say, well, having an insurance policy like that is you're already saying you're going to claim a loss. But as a dad of girls, knowing the dudes out there, and I don't think there's a situation where there's a bunch of dudes who are all leveled up in like grade A and all the sisters are bums. I don't think that's true. I think a lot of dudes are bums, and you don't even know that. They could be in your masculinity WhatsApp group, and then you find out they're a loser after the fact. So there's this idea of, okay, I want my girls to be pretty, because I'm not going to be there forever. And there is that reality that maybe she'll never get married because for whatever reason, it's not written for her. Who knows? So, anyways, that's something I'm internally thinking about, and I just wanted to get your thoughts.
For my girls, they take their example from their mother because my wife is a stay-at-home mom. The girls are already cooking stuff, they're baking, they're already learning homemaking and things like that. They know how to sew, they take sewing lessons, and they do Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and they've done parkour, and they've done different things. And so they're turning out to be well-rounded. I don't think I have as much capacity to train them in that aspect of their lives of how to be women because I've never been a woman. I can sort of show them what that relationship is going to be like by the way I interact with their mother. But then at the end of the day, I think it's down to the woman to teach the next generation of women how to be when they're older. And also, I'm one of the foremost critics of feminism and things of that nature, and I have been ever since before becoming the alpha Muslim. But there is also the sense that these girls who will be women, they're their own person, and they should get to live life the way they want and do the things that they want. And so my intent is not to control them. My intent is to teach them what good values are, teach them what good character is. And then what they decide to do, that's their decision. They're going to be held accountable by God at the end of the day. You can't control them. People are going to do what they're going to do. And so I think in that sense, also, we have to respect their personhood and their individuality and their intelligence as human beings and allow them to explore all that life has to offer the way that they want to, as long as they're within the bounds of Islam. Like any parent, I do have to discipline them sometimes. And when I turn it on, they're obedient. And they're homeschooled anyway, so they're just generally well behaved and well mannered and polite and things like that. And so my goal is, in theory, we all know feminism is bullshit and this career woman thing is really just a disaster and women end up being unhappy. Women are unhappier than they are 50 years ago. There's the paradox of happiness. The more equal women become, the unhappier they become. In the US, 25% of women are on antidepressants of some sort. So we know theoretically and at the statistical level, feminism is bullshit. But at the individual level, we have to give people the ability to be individuals. And I don't know how that's going to turn out to them. I can't see the future. All I can do is teach them their religion, support them in what their interests are, and then go from there. And then the women they become are the women they become.